But you are happy with the results, that although...
I'm happy, I'm delighted, like the vast majority of our citizens are.
What do you think, where do you think the BDP got it all wrong?
Well, it all went wrong when they put self-interest before national interest. And they became extremely greedy, they became corrupt, they neglected the people, they had no people-centered policies or programs. It was all about themselves. And it's the kind of story we've heard in other places, in a few places on the continent, where when leaders come into power, they just decide that it's a joyride for them, and that they would endeavor to try to benefit as much as they can whilst they're in power. And that's where they went wrong so drastically, because people obviously compared this regime to previous administrations and realized that these ones had gone totally off track, and they were severely punished for that.
Of course, I mean, up until now, the opposition had actually battled to unite against the BDP. Well, what do you think happened this time around? Where did these parties that were taking on the BDP get it right? Where did they get it right?
Well, actually, the opposition wasn't as united as one would have hoped it could have been. You still had three main opposition blocs which were contesting this election. But the whole thing in that was, despite that, was to make sure that the BDP came out with the lowest share of the vote in the councils and constituencies that were being contested. And that just goes to show you how badly they did, that even with a split opposition, they were still unable to make any kind of headway. Because I think we have a parliament of about 61 seats. I think approximately now, as I speak, I'm not too sure, but I think about 56 seats have been declared. And the BDP only got 4 out of those. So that just shows you what a drubbing they got. And that was all because of the 6 years of total incompetence that the country has been subjected to under Masisi and his cronies.
How well do you know the President-elect, Dumabuku?
I know him. I know him quite well, actually. We've met several times on different occasions. We've had chats. I've met him even when I was in South Africa. So yes, I do know him quite well.
And of his capabilities?
You know, I'm hoping, based on the fact that he is an advocate, you know, he's a very well-known legal personality in this country. And I think he's someone who's going to respect the rule of law, something which was flouted and undermined by the previous regime at every opportunity, engaging in a number of illegal and criminal activities. And in this case, I'm sure he will put that one right from the start, and also will respect, as he has spoken about it many times, adhering to the reputation we once had of democracy and upholding human rights. So I'm quite confident that he will try and do the best for the country. And of course, people, being people, they do learn from other people's mistakes. And I think, having witnessed the shambles that we've gone through under the Masisi regime, he would not really want to have that repeated, because this is unprecedented in Botswana's history. And I think with many other countries, you go from a ruling party where you've had the majority of seats in parliament down to just what it is currently. The latest results is that they've only got 4 seats, and that is a total collapse, you know, and that is as a result of like I said, the abuse of office that they have embarked upon during the last 6 years.
If you were to advise the President-elect, what should top his to-do list?
whether it would be him or any other person who's in a leadership position, where they have the responsibility for improving the welfare of people, is to always have people-centered policies and programs. It's all about the people. And to ensure that all those programs and policies zero in on that day and night, whatever they do when they're in cabinet, when they go out and meet, everything that they fashion should be about uplifting people's lives. And once you do that, you won't go wrong. But these people just decided to make it, like I said, a joyride for themselves and indulged in blatant corruption. And that's what, and our economy is wrecked, our government revenues are well down, and our reputation as a democracy has been totally destroyed. And we are now really struggling as a nation. So even the incoming president is going to have a huge task in trying to build back the country to what it was before.
Now, you only returned to Botswana, recently, having fled to South Africa in 2021. Of course, those charges, you were charged with illegal possession of arms and ammunition, money laundering, and the rest. What is, of course, those were thrown out by a magistrate. What is your situation? Are you comfortable now, and are you staying in your country?
Well, when I returned about 5-6 weeks ago, it was my intention to stay in the country, and that's what I still going forward. That is certainly my intention. Masisi tried his best, despite efforts by others in the region, to try and bring about reconciliation. He didn't want me back in the country before the elections because he feared whatever influence I may have on the electorate to bring about his downfall. And that's why I decided to take the plunge and come back as I did 5-6 weeks ago, timing it to come back. And I embarked upon a very hectic and intense bout of campaigning in all corners of the country to ensure that I contributed, with others, to bring about the situation we are talking about now.